Hello guys, I'm back after a month or so, and it's about time I explain why I'm leaving the Hive. The quick explanation is, I never really expected to be a Hive YouTuber for this long. The original plan was for me to do Hive content for a short while, and then I would go on to make hardcore or survival series. But the more I learned mechanics of Hive PvP and the styles that you could do, the more I got into the game and the less I wanted to let y'all down. And I had a bunch of cool people like Durfai who were teaching me how to PvP in the Hive, and I quickly learned from them, and the more I learned, the more I wanted to stay. But the longer I stayed, the more problematic the Hive community started to seem. The drama with the Hive community has to be the worst part. Not even 3 weeks into being a Hive YouTuber, I had already been induced in so much drama that it was kind of unbearable. Now, there's other communities that I am in that do have drama much like the Hives. It's just how frequent the Hive drama is. For me, I mainly know the Hive for its drama, and I don't want to be in a community that many people may think is based around drama. I want to be able to create stuff that people enjoy and have fun watching. The second reason would have to be the Hive is not great for content. It's very easy to get burnt out on the Hive, and whenever I'm burnt out, I just don't want to play, so I don't play as well. So then I can't make videos for that week. And the list could go on for a good while of games that basically have the same concept or do the same thing in the Hive. The only real original ones are the ones that are mini-games. The third reason would have to be the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube barely suggests any Hive content to other people. I've been in the Minecraft community for around 13 years, and I never really heard of Hive content up until 8 months ago whenever I first started, and I had to have someone else introduce me to it. That would be Nablash. Even still, I don't get a lot of Hive content even though I watch a bunch of Hive YouTubers. I mainly only get hardcore, survival, and Hypixel content instead of Hive content. I do watch a little bit of hardcore, and I don't watch survival or Hypixel. Even still, I have to follow trends on YouTube that are in the YouTube algorithm to have engaging content. That on top of constantly being burnt out from the Hive is not a good combination and makes it to where if I want to get a video done in, say, 2 weeks, it'll probably take 3 to 4. And the final reason would have to be content limitations and struggling with monetization. And with YouTube not really suggesting Hive content to new viewers or possible new viewers, I'm not getting the subscribers or views that I need to get monetized. Plus, on top of that, content limitations, most of my content's going to be looking the same. And I have a bunch of screenshots to prove my point. Now, this is not to send any hate to these YouTubers, they're just trying to work with what they have. And most Hive YouTubers are forced to make this form of content, and it's all they can really do because how limiting the Hive is. And at least with hardcore, I'll be a little less limited. I may not be fully capable of doing a lot of stuff, but I will be able to do a whole lot more than what I can do on the Hive. And I feel like my biggest setback is the Hive. The Hive, whenever it does update, doesn't do large updates. I mean, we had the Bed Wars update, but that update only added one good feature, and that was the wind charge. The wind charge allows me to get from place to place without having to build or stuff like that, but you can basically already do that with fireballs and ender pearls. The worst part is the wind charge is so much cheaper than a fireball, and a lot, and I mean big time, cheaper than an ender pearl. The only downside is you take a lot of damage when landing, but you don't take a lot of damage if you know how to land. And I feel like if I were to switch over to hardcore content, I would be able to have a lot more creativity in my content. And it will allow y'all to have a lot more creativity to sway my content. On the Hive, it would just be me running around beating people up, while in hardcore, I could be building a redstone contraption. I could just be building 10,000 Spampton G Spamptons. Don't know why I used him as an example. He's just the first character that comes to my mind. And I could build things that make living in survival a lot easier, but still have the challenge of not being able to die. And if I do die, then I lose the world. It kind of just adds a sense of tension to Minecraft, and if I lose my world, I can never get back into it, meaning I lose hours of playtime. I feel like hardcore content is a lot more creative. You're allowed to create what you want, you're allowed to do what you want, you're allowed to play the way you want to play. But on the Hive, you're limited to a few game modes and a few forms of PvP. Now, to clear up any confusion, I will also be switching over to Java for my YouTube. It's a whole lot better for hardcore content since I'm able to add mods that make the game a whole lot harder, and I'm able to not take a ton of damage just randomly while using a elytra in the air or just jumping over a ledge and then jumping back onto a block because I am trying to prevent myself from falling over that edge. And before we get into the Q&A, I would like to ask y'all to like the video and subscribe if you want to support me throughout this journey through the YouTube algorithm. Now, we're gonna get started with the Q&A. Are you still gonna be playing Hive, just not for content? Yeah, I still will be playing Hive. It's a good server, it's just not a great choice for content. I like the Hive, and I don't want to lose my PvP abilities just because I want to switch to hardcore. Are you going to be switching to Void Meow Corrupts? You know what, Tim? Just because you commented that, I will. I will be switching my username to Void Meow Corrupts from now on. Anyways, on a serious note, no, I will not be. I like the username Void and Null Corrupts, and I think I'd like to keep it. How many ancient cities are you gonna loot? I actually don't know. I may end up looting like maybe 10 or so. I may end up looting 1. It just depends on how long the series goes on. And I hope it goes on for a pretty long time because I want this to be my forever world. When world start? The world has already started. The world started on the 14th of this month, and it is going pretty well, actually. But I won't say anything because I don't want to spoil the video. When are you going to make the hardcore worlds with me, bro? I'm thinking of eventually starting a SMP, possibly, where I have a bunch of people on a hardcore world and we play around, probably have some mods or two that boost the experience of the game. It would definitely be a Java SMP because how many modding opportunities there are for it, and how bad Bedrock is for hardcore. Anyways, YouTube thinks you'll like these videos, so go ahead and click onto them and see if YouTube is right. Goodbye.